about to get started on the IRC channel. It has said go, so once the streams catch up, we'll be going, and they are going. They are off to market. We got a small key already in Link's house, 2 Misery Mire, and I believe a big 20 up in Sanctuary Chest.
What were the 2 items we were talking about? The big 20 and the small key to Mire. Yep, there you go.
There it is. That thing right there.
Yeah,
right,
MrBarrybondz, he's doing the Haunted, not the Haunted Grove, Haunted Grove.
Sacred Grove.
I need coffee.
Yeah, I just got some. But yeah, we got basically, wow. So bottom folks taking the same route generally. We got a trip up to, a nice little bomb drop right there from the guard. And tier 1 tree pull is only going to be small magic decanters, but we still need magic at some point, so.
Yeah, TGH going straight to see what the item is at the Lumberjacks. We're probably going to go right to the Uncle escape route, finds a heart container.
And we also saw the bush crabs only dropping arrows, so still useful at some point, but not really what they're looking for right now. You kind of want bombs or rupees, and only a piece of heart at the Lumberjack Cave, and only a piece of heart from your poor dying uncle.
I think that was on a race game there. Let's see, he's going to go for it? No, so must not have been anything good.
It is just a big 20. And I like the route that both TheOkayGuy and MrBarrybondz taking. Getting those 50-50, the bombs down at Sacred Grove, just so you don't have to buy them later. Only a heart container at the library as well.
Ooh, a sword.
Wow. Oh, and a shovel. Which is extremely unfortunate, because when you're routing from the south side of Kakariko, and you find the shovel on the way up, then you're like, oh, when do I route this in now?
Yeah, it's going to be a little tough to route that in, especially because now that's in the early game, so it's really hard to, unless you somehow get Dark World Mirror access, it's going to be hard to route that in profitably.
Yeah, it's going to be nice for prieR and TGH because they're routing from the north side, so they'll be able to end their run at the shovel spot before opting to head somewhere else. It's like Kenny's going to be using his 1 bomb to go farm some more bombs from the bombable hut, but the shovel digging up a 8 bomb drop. That's beautiful.
Wow, the one thing you do is 8 bombs. Okay.
Wow, that's hilarious. See, guys, if you get early shovel, take advantage of that. Dig up some spots. You never know what you'll find.
Well, MrBarrybondz is going to be the first one to check out a 5 treasure cave here, going down into the well in Kakariko.
Oh, wow. Nice
early
half magic, yeah. It's a good one to have. We don't have magic items yet, but depending on how this game goes, we might be relying on that half magic for, say we get an early cold stare or something like that.
Nothing else valued in there. Just some arrows and compasses. Those are kind of worthless at this point. TheOkayGuy now has the 100 rupees to go to the bottle vendor, but he'll probably just still route that in after going to Blind's Hut. We're going to find a mirror in Blind's Hut.
That beautiful blue boomerang. And the cape! Oh, no. Nobody likes seeing that early. Still a little too early to tell, but...
Well, if we find the lamp anytime soon, then we'll start. And cast tower keys, then we'll be like, So
everyone pretty much taking the same standard route. Going to Kakariko. So now the option is, with that sword in hand, afterwards, do you head straight into Hyrule Castle, or do you usually do the South Shore, go to the dam, Mini Moldorn Cave, Ice Rock Cave, etc., etc.? Yeah, it looks like Kenny's going to be the only one not buying bombs because of that very fortunate 8 bomb drop from the dig. So he's going to be walking away with a little bit of extra rupees. But apparently it was made clear that the... Well, actually, I don't know. Someone said something about tier 2 tree pull being rupees or something. I missed that. But
yeah, I think someone said there was they were big 20s flying out.
Explain why TGH has so much money right now. But I don't think he's been to the bottle vendor yet, so...
No, but I don't think prieR has either, and he doesn't have 100 rupees yet, but he did just have to buy bombs, so...
Yeah, now all of our players with their first sword, and looks like BarrybondZ will be opting to head south, go visit the dam. Sometimes we've been seeing players making the route over to Agnes Cave early. It's one of those places that players oftentimes like to put off very late or until they have to. And so do you lose some time heading that way anyway, or do you do what everyone else does and put it off? Kind of like Tile Room. Tile Room is always last, same with Agnes Cave.
Well, we will see what's at the dig spot. TGH is going to go over there first and check it out. Meanwhile, MrBarrybondz is the first one over to the well. We saw bombs in the first chest there.
Sad to see what the shovel spot is going to grant us anything of value. We're still missing a lot of things, particularly Dark World access, which is usually the first thing you're looking for. And there is the piece of the puzzle, the gloves from the shovel spot.
And the other piece of the puzzle was actually at the dam. Barrybondz, once he drowned at the dam, he found a lamp.
So lamp plus glove plus mirror. I mean, that gets you up to like Tower of Hera. And Barrybondz is taking that play that I was talking about of going straight to Agnes Cave. So this ends up being valuable. This might be a pretty big difference maker here early on into the race. And OkayGuy picking up his glove. So good for him going back to this area after already, finishing everything else, but still, you don't want to put off that shovel spot for too long.
Oh, the Hyrule Castle key was in Hyrule Castle in the back of his escape.
Philly had a lamp. He could go get that chest.
Well, he will get a lamp in a few seconds because he's about to go down and drain the swamp.
Also picking up a big 300, so now TGH is only 100 rupees away from being able to visit Zora, which, with that glove in hand, is now within the logic.
That is correct. Although I, for one, I don't like to go up there just for that one item. I'll wait till I have the Moon Pearl, because the Moon Pearl is usually found pretty early in these games, and Fake Flipper, route other things in there.
Yeah, if it's not, like, on the pyramid, or like in Checkerboard Cave or something, you usually will find that Moon Pearl relatively soon. But at the same time, I think we're 2 castle keys away from a visit to Aga Tower.
Yeah, it's only the keys. We have everything else we need. We have the cape, the lamp, and a sword, but we don't have the keys. What if they're both vanilla, though?
I mean, we already had a vanilla Hyrule Castle key. Nice mini Moldorn Cave there by OkayGuy. Very quick. And we got a heart container, a small key to Ganon's tower, close. The mitts, and a big key to Thieves. So we already got the mitts, just gotta find that Moon Pearl, and we got Dark World access, just like that. Barrybondz, first chest in Hyrule Castle, finding the big key to Eastern Palace. We don't know if that's a crystal or a pendant, but getting that out of the way is nice since none of our players have yet to go there. So let's hope that everyone else decides to dive Hyrule Castle prior to heading into Eastern Palace.
Yeah, very interesting that we've seen basically 3 different routes at this point. With Barrybondz going down through Hyrule Castle, OkayGuy and TGH heading towards Ice Rock Cave right now.
And I have a feeling that Eastern Palace big key is probably going to be the only thing we're going to find in the back of here. But at least Barrybondz will be able to mirror out and then go check the sewer chest.
Yes.
Only a piece of heart in the Ice Rock Cave, so gotta head elsewhere to go find our next progression. I'm really feeling like the Moon Pearl is going to be in its, at least in a portion of, could very well be in Tower of Hera. Just not in its, like, normal chest, since we don't have the big key for it yet.
Yeah, that's the keyword there.
Keyword. Alright, just as I expected. Eastern Palace big key and 2 big 20s in Hyrule Castle. But let's see what's in the sewer chest for MrBarrybondz.
And OkayGuy, he decides to fake flipper. He's heading down to the hobo, and he's going to see what the hobo gives for him. This is a sequence break, so this is not quite in the logic just yet. Wow! Moon Pearl at the Hobo. So that means we're going to find the flippers soon as well.
See, that's why I always think, like, if you're not willing to go do, like, Zora and all that, at least always, from Ice Arcade, fake flipper to Hobo. It's still something. But, nice find there, because, you know, a lot of players, if this ends up leading to, oh god, Kenny, please, get in the whirlpool! Yeah, if this leads to, like, the next progression, you know, of course, we're still looking for those flippers. I wonder where they're gonna be.
So Barry took that hint of the cape and is going to check the first chest in Aghanim's tower.
Some bombs and a Turtle Rock small key in the Waterfall Cave. Of course, finding early T-Rock keys is always nice.
Oh! Hello!
Ooh. Hi. Hello, Death Mountain access. At least more Death Mountain access.
Yeah, that's a lot of Death Mountain access. That's all of the Light World, and logically, that's also all of the Dark World. Well, not yet, because we don't have the Moon Pearl in the logic just yet. I don't think we've seen a map check yet, but OkayGuy's going to go to Sahasrara. He's going to tell us what the green pendant is in this seed. And we have the green pendant at Swamp.
Another pendant. Oh, wow. Well, there's the flute and our first bottle. So that's, wow, that's perfect. That's like a little care package. You
Yeah.
want to go straight to Kakariko and knock out a bunch of extra stuff. As well as the fact that Kenny, the okay guy, can go straight into Village of Outcasts at this point, too.
Yeah, I would call the OkayGuy Kenny as well, but then I feel like I'd be talking to myself.
That'd be a little weird.
Because my name's also Kenny.
Also, shoutouts to the okay guy, remembering that you can mirror out of the sanctuary. If you don't have the boots, you can just mirror out and walk, and then like leave immediately.
Yeah,
Nice
I
little time save.
saw Fred Coughlin use that strat earlier this week in a race where I commentated, and I started using that in my own races.
So the okay guy hasn't been to the front half of Hyrule, but he's going to get a small key here, and since he does have the lamp, he's going to be able to trek to the sewer chest and find out what it is.
Well, we saw it already on BarrybondZ side. I believe it was just the piece of heart.
Okay guy and TGH gonna almost have a little sync up here. Yeah, despite the fact that the okay guy does have that Dark World access already, I feel like it's wiser to just go ahead and knock out some more of the Light World locations. Because as soon as you go into the Dark World, you want to just stay in the Dark World.
Yeah, so knock out all the Light World stuff first, and then go to Dark World, knock out the Dark World stuff first, then see what dungeons you could actually complete. Yeah, he's probably going to make a beeline to Kakariko now.
Yeah, this is really nice. I like being able to not only activate my flute, but check the sick kid while I'm there. Just knock both those out at the same time. prieR going to be making the play up into Aga Tower to go get his hookshot as well, so... Yeah, these ball and chain guys are a little annoying to deal with when all you have is a fighter sword, but...
Hey, you gotta make do with what you got.
So I feel like it'd be easy to deduce that those flippers are probably going to be on Death Mountain somewhere.
Oh yeah, because the flippers lock the Moon Pearl, so you know it won't be in the Dark World unless it's somehow on the Pyramid. Or I guess Checkerboard Cave. Ooh, that's the ice rod.
Yeah. If you're flying back, go get that right away. Now, you know, all that is useful for is killing Trinex, but when you're early in and you still don't have any other, like... You could still use the ice rod for other means as well.
See, that Skull Woods is a crystal, a regular crystal.
So that'll be our first piece of the puzzle as to where all our crystals lie. Green Pendant Swamp and Crystal Skullwood so far. Interesting.
And I missed what Meyer was.
Yeah, that was a real quick check. Oh, by the way, I didn't even notice TGH rocking it into Eastern Palace. I don't think we've seen anything in here yet.
Things going on at the same time. We see prieR and MrBarrybondz both going up the Death Mountain, which, remember, they're still in logic, so this is what the game, I think, wanted you to do. It looks like Quake is needed for Meyer, according to chat. Okay, guy gets his hook shot, and he's going to head into Desert Palace.
And the single arrow from the Eastern Palace big chest. So good thing getting that early big key. Helping out quite a bit.
Yeah, that was a huge pickup for TGH. He said with a deadpan tone.
Yeah, nothing going on in Spectacle Rock or Spectacle Cave. Just a bunch of junk items.
But is prieR playing as Santa Link? Is that why he became a reindeer in bunny form?
Yes. He's playing the improved Santa Link with colors that actually match what tunic you're wearing. Because normally the old Santa Link you'd start with red, you know, look like Santa immediately. But it was confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confused sometimes. I play as Will from Illusion Guy all the time, and his base is blue, and his blue mail is green, so it's a little backwards.
That's a little weird. All right, what's in Checkerboard Cave? Anything of value? It's the flippers. There it is.
There you go.
He's back in sequence now.
That is true.
Nice use of shortcuts there.
That's like the Moon Pearl being in Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty big. I don't know. I don't think, he didn't check what was at Zora's Ledge, as far as I know, so... Or he might have. I might have missed that, but...
No, he did not check Zora's Ledge.
Okay. Still missing some rupees, so... And the nice thing now is, if he wanted to... Yeah, he could go, like, Village of Outcast Dark World, go east and do Catfish and Azora at the same time once he gets enough rupees.
We'll just point out how big of a play this is going to be for OkayGuy, because these runners are not going to think of Checkerboard Cave for a while, I don't think.
Yeah, when you have Dark World access... Well, let's see. None of these guys have Moon Pearl yet.
I believe prieR just picked up the Swamp Small Key.
I believe you are correct.
I think, yeah, remember, that's a green pendant, so, green pendant, and we have hookshot already, all we need is hammer, and maybe, we got a big key to ice.
There's the bow. That's a nice one to find early. That bow can be so pesky later on in the road.
And especially if you have the bow and the, Eastern Palace big key, you can have full clear Eastern Palace and not have to worry about double dipping it.
Yeah, so when prieR heads to Eastern Palace, he'll be able to do it all in one go. While TGH, assuming it is a crystal and required, will have to go back and double dip. But at least he can go straight to the boss and just finish it out, so not too much of a loss.
TGH is on his way. He'll begin his flippers relatively soon, so he's making the correct play within the logic here. Also get his ice rod while he's over here.
Alright, so we know that there wasn't anything in Tower of Hera. I don't think there was anything in Desert, nor even on the Torch. Only a big 20 on the floating island, and just a map to Thieves Town, which is some useful information for later.
Yeah, maps and Keysanity, they're not exactly like the greatest items, but the information that they give is sometimes can prove to be invaluable.
Yeah, if like later on in the seed you're in go mode, but you have 2 dungeons that you haven't touched yet, one, and you don't know what either of them are, if you find that map, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is the crystal dungeon. I'll go to this one instead. That's when it really makes it a huge difference, but early information is still nice. Yeah, looks like OkayGuy gonna be heading over to Zora. Kind of disappointed they didn't route in the catfish play, because he can do it.
Yeah, with the flippers, he can get over here and...
Oh,
Jesus,
fire rod. Well, that's both of our rods early. And with Sword in Hand, the OkayGuy is going to be able to go ahead and do Skull Woods the first time he heads in there.
But he's going to have to eventually go into Agus Tower, get that hook shot, and go to Death Mountain to get that bow.
Oh yeah, you're right. And just bombs from Zora. Nothing of value.
Doesn't even take it.
Now, maybe if the OkayGuy can find, like, a castle tower key, so he can make it the route even more efficient by being able to check. That's a fair response. I was like, what is he doing? Oh, it was the fire rod.
It was bombs, wow.
Wow. Anyway, yeah, if he could find, like, a castle tower key, and then he'd be able to route in checking both chests at the same time, as opposed to only one and then the other.
So prieR and Barry now, they're armed with the Eastern Palace Big Key and the bow, so this is going to be their first and only trip here into Eastern Palace.
It's also worth thinking that right now Kenny does have access to a good chunk of Ice Palace. 21-minute Ice Palace, anyone?
Yeah, he can do everything but the boss to this point, and the way he's been running, I'm expecting the hammer to be in Ice Palace.
Yeah, I guess he needs the hammer to get a few more chests, so that doesn't seem very optimal at all.
Like, if you have the hook shot, you can route. If you didn't have the hook shot, you can route it a back around way, but without the hammer, it's kind of hard.
I like this play, going straight to Skull Woods. He doesn't have any Skull Woods small keys, so he can't route it, like, more optimally, but it's not too bad. Maybe he'll get bailed out by a vanilla Skull Woods key.
Well, there will be a vanilla Skull Woods key if he goes down one room here, but...
Other than that one. Alright, TGH about to get some, I believe it was bombs and a Turtle Rock small key in the Waterfall Cave. He does have his Moon Pearl as well, and he'll be able to go ahead and get his Fire Rod here on out. And there's a useless map. That's the downside of the maps, is when you always seem to find ones that's two dungeons you already know what they are, or you already finished.
Or of course, the ones for Hyrule or Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, those are awful. We do find a pod small key in the second chest here in Skull Woods. That is the first of probably many.
Well, there's a total of 6 that we can find in throughout Hyrule.
Nice use of the bumper. Knock himself into the Gibdos.
Hey, look, a vanilla skull with small key. I told you.
Oh, wow, dude. Burn the witch! Burn him! I'm excited to see what this Armos Knight's going to have for our players. And, you know, at the same time, like, right now we only know where one pendant is, but if Armos was to even just drop a pendant, that'd still be kind of useful in a sense. Because, green, you know, pendant Eastern Palace is not that bad. It's not a big time loss.
Yeah, you're more than likely going to do Eastern anyway, and the route up to kill Armos only takes like a minute extra out of your time, so it's not the biggest loss in the world. And if it's a crystal, it's a great payoff.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Now the real question is, at what point do you make the pod play when you have the bow and a small key? Because you can make your rounds in pod. You can check quite a bit with just one key in the bow. Oh, but no hammer, so you can't route to the other side. Never mind.
Well, you could, just that you then have to open the big door. So yeah, I call it the big door. It's the same size door. It's just that it opens up the back of the dungeon, stuff like that.
So there's the rest are called small doors.
Listen,
I'm listening.
It's big in the fact that it's important.
Oh, okay, that kind of got it. Alright, let's see. Excited to see this Mothula fight from the OkayGuy. Fighter Sword, Fire Rod, half magic. Shouldn't be too bad, especially that half magic part.
And the Fire Rod part also. But even without the Fire Rod, you have the Magic Cape.
And Armo's going to be dropping a bottle with a B in it and a pendant. There you go. So there's your information, guys.
Well, see, that's like finding the map to Eastern Palace. Think of it that way.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's actually kind of good because, like, let's say now Skullwoods has the other pendant, then all of a sudden you know where all the pendants are.
Yeah, we would just talk to the bomb merchant and figure out which ones are 5 and 6.
And honestly, a pendant Eastern and a pendant Skullwoods would be pretty chill. I'd be okay with it. Swap Palace. All right, well, so much for that. We do have our first crystal at 25 minutes in for the OK guy. I do love in Keysanity where with the text boxes that the crystals turn golden, they just look so much fancier, more valuable. MrBarrybondz now going to be picking up his flute and his first bottle. Going to be saving and quitting. Going to go activate that flute and probably head into the Dark World, though he still can't because he doesn't have the Moon Pearl yet. Same with prieR.
He needed that flute in order to get to Checkerboard Cave to get the flippers, and he needs to get the Moon Pearl.
For sure.
Hooray, sequencing.
And another small key too, Dark Palace. So that brings us up to 2 total. Yeah, so far I'm really liking the OK guy's routing. He's fine as long as that hookshot does not lead to any strong progression. And so far, that early bow didn't really make a difference. Now, if there's something on the bow side and pod, then of course, and players with the bow decide to go check that sooner, it could mean trouble.
But he knows eventually he's going to go to Death Mountain, and he can full clear it now with everything he has. But he's going to check some more stuff around here. He's going to go to Village of Outcasts, snoop around here. He can also go into Thieves Town and complete it without opening the big chest.
prieR now picking up his Ice Rod. We're going to dive inside a Desert Palace, and we do have our first Thieves Town play. I feel like this is oh, wow, and there's Arcanus Maria, just like that. So we already have both rods and cane. We just need a hammer and maybe a medallion. Well, definitely a medallion, but not sure which. Dungeon map to Misery Mire.
Now we're going to know that. Yeah, we can know if we need that Quake.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to go ahead and just do Thieves Town. You don't have the hammer, so even if you did have the small key to check the big chest, you couldn't. So you might as well just go all in and just hope that you don't ever have to come back. But you know that G-Tower big key is going to be in that chest.
So when it happens, you know who to blame.
For sure. Well, close. There's the map to Ganon's Tower. And the red boomerang.
Well, we found 2 important red items there. Well, one's more important than the other.
Important if you're going for a full menu collection. Yeah, very nice Mothula fight from TGH. No trouble at all. He's going to be heading now into the Village of Outcasts area. Let's see if he follows suit and follows Kenny into Thieves Town. Barrybondz on his way to go get his flippers. He'll be right behind prieR. Of course, these two, prieR and Barrybondz, are not racing each other for the tournament, but just comparing in the quad race. It's fun to think about this as a 4-person race. Oh, nice. An early graveyard ledge check from TGH. I like this play. Interesting that he chose to go through the graveyard when he can just go up and around the Bonk Rocks. But, you know, you do you. Let's see if we find anything of value in here.
We have
a heart
piece. Vanilla piece of heart.
How lovely. Ooh, big key. To Mire. I get the feeling that we're going to go to Mire at some point. Keep on fighting.
Actually, in the logic, it's actually fully completable now. Oh no, we don't have Quake. We need to get in there.
Yeah, we do have the Cane of Samaria. As a whole, we have everything we need minus Quake. So once we find Quake, I mean, for OkayGuy, he still needs to go get that hook shot off the Aga Tower. And nothing to value up on the Bumper Cave. Now, is this one of those seeds where you go ahead and make the play back to Village of Outcasts, or do you when do you go to Catfish? Because at this point, no one's making the play to do, like, Catfish in Azora. So if Catfish has something, I'm going to have a big laugh.
I mean, TGH probably was in the right area to do it because he was over at the Graveyard Ledge, but...
Yeah, if there was any time to go do it, it would have been then. Alright, well, we're going to see this blind fight. I wonder... I'm sure OkayGuy's just going to use Sword, but he does have that Cane of Samaria if you wanted to get fancy.
If you like swag strats, you can use the Cane of Samaria, but yeah, I think we're just going to go with the consistent route with the Sword here. And a baker's job is a piece of cake, and I'm pretty sure Kenny will make this blind fight a piece of cake as well.
I'm hoping to eventually also find some boots along the way, because I know the OkayGuy is one of them hovering type.
As Patty would say, no, I'm not going to say it.
Always interesting to see when those come into play every now and then. But blind dropping a crystal, which is good, but only a B-Torp. So other than that Cane of Samaria and the Meyer Big Key and Crystal, I'd say that's pretty good. I don't even have to finish that statement. That was a good Thieves Town. Just gotta hope that we never have to come back to get that big chest.
And Barry finally gets his Moon Pearl. He's the last one to get it. 31 minutes and 40 seconds in.
Yeah, I don't think he buys regular bees, Kenny. You need a golden bee.
Gold bee, you'll get $100 for it, but regular bees, nah.
I'm sure he's wanting some rupees to go do the digging game, since I believe you need 80 rupees for that.
I believe so, yes. But I mean, he could also do like lumberjacks, the blacksmiths now.
That's true. He does have the mirror, so we could route that in pretty conveniently. Small key 2, Turtle Rock. So that brings us up to 2 total. And we got BarrybondZ going to be our first player to head up to Death Mountain to check these Dark World locations. Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny, as well as what we need to get into Turtle Rock.
And maybe that floating island has something good for us.
Oh, I remember seeing what it was. I remember we've seen it. I don't think it was anything important. Super Bunny Cave holding a useless compass and a big fiver. Let's see if this is going to end up being a double Quake scenario.
Yes.
It is. So we're going to be needing Quake if we want to get into either of those dungeons. So vanilla Quake, vanilla T-Rock entrance. Maybe we'll find Quake immediately in Hookshot Cave. That seems to be a trend.
Yeah, usually you'll find the item you need to either continue in or complete one of those dungeons. Well, a third pod small key throws something else into the loop here.
And just a dungeon map to Eastern Palace, which at this point, MrBarrybondz already knows. Alright, so the next piece of information... Oh! Okay, guys, gotta be a little careful. Those murder-dactyls, they do a lot of damage. Yeah, looks like he's gonna go check Graveyard Ledge and then probably flute over to check, or to turn in that purple chest, so we'll find out then and there what that is. The prieR side, gonna be heading into that Mothula fight. Let's see how he does. Got plenty of magic, plenty of health. He's got a sword. He'll be fine. Mafia giving him some pretty good patterns, running straight into him a few times over.
Yeah,
very nice fight.
Just want to keep him off the spikes at that point.
Yeah, that was very clean. We're gonna see blind from TGH's side.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oof.
Oh, nice! Okay. I was wondering if that was gonna be... I was like, can he just jump off the ledge and grab it? Oh, man, that was...
I would have been scared,
That would have been so frustrating. And a very nice blind fight from TGH as well, so...
The lunchbox had lunch money.
Oh, also, didn't even realize that Thievestown crystal was one of our 2 Pyramid Fairy crystals.
Yep, crystal 6.
We still haven't been to Hype Cave, have we?
No, we haven't.
Huh. I guess there's a lot of stuff you could be doing on your way routing down, and then it's easy to get distracted by that purple chest. A lot of times people will grab the purple chest and just keep going south, but TheOkayGuy decided to go up and check that stuff first. Ooh, nice little green bomb for our boy Agana. He's dead now.
Rip Agana.
Oh, I know exactly why. Kenny, TheOkayGuy. I'm gonna call him Kenny, because we're cool like that. He didn't have enough rupees for digging games, so that's probably why he opted to go north instead.
Ah, yes. And he still doesn't have enough rupees for digging game. Meanwhile, TGH does, and he's over there right now.
Yeah, let's see what we're going to find. I believe this is the first time seeing the digging game.
I believe it is as well.
It's a nice thing about the digging game is, far often than not, you end up getting all your money back from playing the game.
What, vanilla again?
But so far we've seen, what, 2 T-Rock small keys. We've seen 3 pod keys total. We've seen 2 Meyer keys, which aren't really that fancy.
Kenny's gonna farm Blind's Hut to get these,
I was like, he didn't...
digging game rupees.
I was like, he didn't forget to check this, did he? But no.
That's just smart routing.
Yeah, unfortunately, all of his troubles are going to be for nothing, because he's only going to get a piece of heart, but at least he gets to have the relief of knowing that he's not missing out on anything by not having those rupees.
Yeah, if I know I forget something, I get all paranoid about like going back there and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like TGH and TheOkayGuy, once he's done with digging game, are going to be our first players heading south down to route into Hype Cave. We already know it's only a big 5 rupees from Purple Chest, but we got Stup Kid, Circle of Bushes, Hype Cave. We got some items coming up. And there's always the thought of, you know, diving in and checking the first 2 chests of Swamp. You never know. Oh, wow, there's Quake. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
So that's Meyer access, and eventually Turtle Rock access once we get that hammer.
Looks, according to the tracker, I don't know how accurate it is exactly. TGH and OkayGuy do not have the Swamp Small Key yet, and they don't have the bow yet because they haven't been up to the Light World Death Mountain yet.
That would do it. Actually, I don't think OkayGuy's been to Death Mountain at all. So neither of them are going to make the play into Swamp.
But getting Quake is definitely a huge deal because we already know that Quake's needed for both Meyer and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and the thing is, until TheOkayGuy decides to go back into Agate Tower, or not back, but decides to go into Agate Tower, he's not going to have access to Meyer anytime soon unless Hype Cave just suddenly has the boots or something, which would be nice. Very nice Mafia fight from MrBarrybondz. Down to 2 hearts, but clutching it out. Now, it is worth noting that all 4 of our players do have a safety fairy in a bottle. That was the first bottle that we found in Sahasra's hut, so before we freak out about someone dying, we gotta remember that they do have a safety fairy. So.
Yes.
And I believe the other bottle is a bee in a bottle. So I think OkayGuy got rid of his when he was trying to sell it.
Yeah.
All right, Hype Cave, what do you got for us? Small key, Tit Guitar, a heart piece, $50. A heart piece. Wow, that's horrible.
That wasn't hype.
I wonder if these guys are gonna like swim around to go to the pyramid or something. But we do have our first Ice Palace play by MrBarrybondz.
Making a dive in the ice again. Without the hammer, we're missing a few chests possibly. But if the hammer is in here, this is a huge play for him.
I believe he can check 5 chests, maybe.
Desert is the other 5/6 crystal.
Yeah.
Oh, did we have that information already? I must have missed that.
Oh, no. Sorry, I was agreeing with myself. 5 chests that they can check in Ice Palace without the hammer. Alright, prieR heading into the blind fight. Let's see how good it. He's got this 2.5 hearts down. But,
he has that fairy.
He's pretty straightforward. I know, but you still don't want to lose the fairy.
Hey, if you want a death warp, you might want to.
Why would you... Ooh. Oh, okay. That's good. I mean, dying is still a time loss.
All right, so look at these plays we have. I think OkayGuy heading over to Pod, and TGH is heading into Mire.
All right, so pretty big divergence. I think OkayGuy's probably going to go... Yeah. So this is good for him. He might... More than likely is going to mirror in to check Pyramid and get that hook shot.
Yeah, I would think so.
Which, for the most part, hasn't really cost him, like, that much time overall.
So TGH went to open, he opened Mire, but then he realized, wait, I don't have boots or hook shot. I can't get in there.
I can't do anything, so... Head to Death Mountain. Which, unfortunately, is still also not the right play. He needs to be doing what OkayGuy is doing right now, and heading into Agate Tower, which I hope he does. And it looks like he is. Good. All right.
Having some just 50 rupees on the side of the pyramid here.
But yeah, that's a pretty easy mistake to make. You're like, oh, I have Canis Samaria, I have the medallion I need for Mire. Let's go right. Oh wait, I don't have boots or hookshot. Barry.
Well,
okay,
well if you know how to hover, you could possibly make it.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
We've seen TGH do some crazy hovers already recently.
Sorry, but what? You need the boots to get across Mire, and you also need the boots to hover. So why would you spend time hovering when you can just bonk across? I mean, unless you're going for style points, sure. Well, there is our other useless dungeon map, the one to Hyrule Castle. So now we got those 2 obnoxious ones out of the way, and we're going to be checking what's in that Ice Palace. There's another map to Pod. All right.
All I will say about my hover without boots comment is I did a dumb.
It's okay. We all have our one.
You have one?
We all get one.
Okay. You seem to get more than one, though. But that's besides the point.
Listen. I'm not going to argue with that, but just watch yourself.
I'm waiting for you to drop the 3-1 versus 1-3 comment on that.
No, I would do that. It's Keysanity, man. Anything can happen. Yeah, 40-some odd minutes in and making your first trip into Hyrule Castle is... It's a nice play to make when you feel like you can comfortably do it, and if you can get away with it. But it's also something that could be scary since, you know, it's a 0 requirement location. A Sphere 1 location. But he does get that Eastern Palace big key, which, as far as we know, unless pedestal is required, leads to nothing in Eastern Palace.
Barry did not find what he was looking for in Ice Palace. So he's probably going to head up over towards Skullwoods now. Wait, he already been to Skullwoods, so no, he's going to do Thieves Town now.
Oh, nice. That Ice Rod coming into play. I mean, it would have been faster if you just fire rodded the guy, but, you know, when you can, you might as well.
Points for style.
You gotta do it for the fans.
Right, Tej, he's going over towards the catfish.
So, at this point, I wonder if we'll actually be able to see someone going into Mire this time. Yeah, and unfortunately, TGH fallen behind at this point without that hook shot in Agatower, so if Catfish ends up holding something required, that'd be a nice bailout, but until he goes to Agatower, he's going to be falling slower and slower behind. Because I have a feeling that Mire is just going to have everything that we're looking for.
How about a sword upgrade?
That's a good one. That's a good one to miss, too, so it's a nice advantage, because that's also a required item. But I feel like in Keysanity, far often than not, you end up with Gold Sword by the end of it. But that's going to be a nice advantage at the beginning just for taking out enemies and bosses a little bit quicker. And it looks like the TheOkayGuy is going to be falling right behind him with that Master Sword.
Yeah, eventually these guys got to go up towards Death Mountain. They got to get their bow up there also.
Yeah, that'd be... I'm hoping for the players that... for TGH and for the TheOkayGuy that they both get the bow before heading into Mire, because fighting Vitreous without... At least they'll have Master Sword, but, well, actually, I think they'll be fine. Master Sword plus Cape, half magic. Don't really need the bow, but it does make a pretty big difference. But we do have TGH going into Pod. Unfortunately, he's going in here without that bow, so he's really not wanting to go into Agatower.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting play when going in here without the bow, without the hook shot, where we know those two are in pretty decent locations, especially the bow is in the Paradox Cave.
Well, that's the thing, is when you don't have the hook shot, you're not even thinking about anything else. I think at this point, TGH has nothing but this and Agatower, and at this point, he has access to more things in Pod than he does Agatower.
Well, technically, he can get the bow and power. Oh, no, he can't. Oh, there's the book. That's very interesting.
Well, that's going to be nice. When he makes his way up to Death Mountain again, he'll be able to check. And with that Master Sword, he'll be able to get what's on that Ether Tablet.
It's true, and we know eventually he'll have to get that hook shot and then go up to Death Mountain, which is what TheOkayGuy's doing now. So he's going to get his bow, he's going to get his Swamp Small Key, and see where he goes from here.
Kenny? Oh, wow. You can still... What was that?
Yeah.
I feel like he had it backwards, but he still managed to despawn the block anyway. That was funny. I think he was trying to, pass... I'm going to call passer interference on that.
15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, prieR going to be the first one to head into Mire, having that hookshot and Canis Mari and Quake Medallion in hand. So we're going to find out what valuable item is hiding further down this dungeon. Well, and he does have the bow as well, so...
He's going to go into the back half of Pod. We know he'll be able to do this hammer jump here to get access to 3 extra chests on the left side, even if he doesn't find a small key in these chests.
Yeah, the only downside about prieR's routing is he's stuck with Fighter Sword, and he only has 14 arrows, so he's going to be hoping that he gets some arrow drops along the way. Because you do need at least 8 arrows to take out the big eye.
Or maybe he'll find the silvers in here.
That's also highly possible. It's also, I believe, 3 arrows per small eyeball. So...
Yeah, you don't have to use the cape and sword strats to take victories out. It'll take a while. Barry, the first one into Swamp.
Barry going for all these plays that are usually unoptimal without the hammer. Hoping to find that hammer, but he does find a vanilla big key, which of course he cannot use yet. And unfortunately, TGH not getting the hammer jump first try, deciding to mirror out and go do something.
Like
go back in?
Because he didn't have the small key to go through the harmless Hellway.
Oh, you don't need that.
Well,
all you have to do is go back downstairs and that resets the bridge.
Oh, true, but
So I feel like I'm assuming he didn't know that, which is why he mirrored out and is heading right back up here.
Yeah, I would assume so.
But, you know, far often than not, most players line up the hammer jump from the bottom section where TGH is lining up from.
Yeah, that's how NMG does it, so.
And there's our hammer. Spike Cave. Or Spike Chest in Misery Mire.
Oof.
And our silvers. There you go.
Now you can burn the witch. I'll take credit for that one.
Good call, dude. So that's nice. Who needs a sword upgrade when you got silvers? And there's the Tempered Sword in the Dark Maze.
Well, not a total loss of TGH then.
Yeah, we just got a lot of power all at once.
Another pod small key here in Mire, also in the big chest. So I believe we are up to 4 that we know about. Yeah, Barry's gonna get his 4th in here.
Now, unfortunately, I'm curious. I think TGH is gonna be going to check that book, the Bombos book location, as opposed to, and might even head up and check Aether Tablet before diving into Aga Tower.
Oh boy.
That's what it's looking like to me. And oh yeah, Keddy realized he doesn't have that hammer, so he cannot open up T-Rock quite yet.
Okay, gotta go to Mire first. So very interesting with the hammer being a Mire. But I guess it kind of led you to go to Mire anyway because of all the early Mire things we got.
Kane of Brian on the bridge in Mire.
Just for more safeties. Now, Barry doesn't have the Cane of Samaria yet. He hasn't been into Thieves Town just yet. So he can't complete the dungeon, but he'll be able to get his hammer. That'll open up the seat a little bit to him. Maybe the hammer will lead him to try out going to Thieves Town, because now he can't full clarity out either because he doesn't have the small key for Thieves yet.
It's got to be frustrating for him since he went into both Swamp and Ice Palace without the hammer, and then finally, third try, finds that hammer. Hopefully, well, no, I think we've seen all the items at this point, so it would have been nice if he found like the Thieves Town small key in here, so that when he went back to Thieves to go get the cane, he'd be able to full clear. So
prieR found the Turtle Rock big key in here too.
Yeah, so, and we need a few more T-Rock small keys in order to make that play, but gosh, I don't know. I feel like out of all the dungeons, T-Rock is like the most likely to have vanilla keys. Oh, the Tower of Hera big key was in Mire as well.
I think Mire was the play.
Mire might have been the play.
Just a hunch.
Yeah, at this point, the OK Guy is going to be extending his lead a little bit more here, because he's going to be able to full clear this dungeon the first time. So not having to double dip is nice, and not having to double dip Swamp or Ice is also good.
And the only one who won't be able to complete Mire the first trip in will be Barry.
So at this point, we're still trying to figure out where that last pendant is, and heck, it could be right here. Oh, and just as I suspected, TGH went to go check the Aether Tablet. He's run out of stuff to do. He has to go to Aga Tower. Did find $300 in there, so now he's sitting at a cool 644 rupees, but I'm sure he would have rather have had a hookshot or a progression item at that point. But yeah, silver arrows.
prieR showing one of silver arrows.
Yeah.
Such a huge difference in the Vitreous fight.
Oh, and there's Bombos.
That's not useful at all right now.
It's nice. It's nice for Cold Stare. Not that we need it since we have half magic and Fire Rod, but
yeah, as I'm saying, it's like we don't need Bombos at all. It's
actually,
helpful
yeah,
there.
We don't need it at all. I know a lot of players like to use it going up the gauntlet at times, but I doubt any of these. I am 100% certain that none of these 4 would ever use it going up the gauntlet.
13-year-old me that was playing the game casually used it in the gauntlet all the time.
It's a good item.
And I say 13-year-old me, not 9-year-old me, because when I was 9, I couldn't beat the game.
Dude, it's a tough game. All right, TGH getting his hook shot, 54 minutes in. So at this point, he needs to head... You know, with Tempered Sword, he could go straight to Mire and be 100% comfortable. And that looks like the play, so that's good. He's going to be not too far behind with that hammer. Yeah, and actually, even with just like Master Sword, he'd be comfortable taking out Vitreous as well. But Temper Sword's going to make it a little bit easier as well.
Not gonna have the bow, but he will have the Tempered Sword, so. And the cape, which is going to be a nice little helpful item for him.
Now, I feel like most of these players are not going to miss the Dark Maze sword, but I feel like that Catfish sword might not be seen by all 4 of our players. Depending on how the rest of the sea goes. We are still missing stuff. Mostly information. Yeah, because we don't know how many more items we need. We do, as far as we know, we do 100%, of course, need the G-Tower Big Key, and we do need the Desert Palace Big Key. But we do have MrBarrybondz and prieR going to be heading up to Tower of Hera. Not too far behind each other. I like the reverse syncage of our 4 players. It's very aesthetically pleasing to see Tower of Hera diagonally and then Meyer diagonally.
I was thinking to myself, why is Barry doing a bomb until you have the hook shot? But it's easier to get back across if you goes without the boots. Yeah.
Yeah. I personally still would just hook shot across just because I'm really bad at setting up the bomb jump without the boots. I'm so bad at setting up the bomb jump with the boots.
And I'm just bad, period, so yeah. Look at this sink in this Moldorm fight. Oh!
Hammer strats on both sides. Who's got the better Moldorm fight?
Oh, wait, they both fall.
They both fall. Oh, that's funny. I promise, I'm not laughing at them. I'm laughing towards them. There's a difference.
It wasn't funny that they fell. It was funny how they fell at the same time.
Yes, exactly. Good way of putting it.
Thank you. That's why they paid me the big bucks.
There it is. And they both go down almost simultaneously, getting a big 20 and...
Oh, there you go.
Our last pendant. All right, so that's all the information we need about our Crystals of Pendant dungeons. So at this point, we still need the Desert Palace Big Key, the Palace of Darkness Big Key, and, of course, the GT Big Key. So...
Check the pedestal. Well, only TGH can, so... Hey, good point in chat. Someone said that 3 of the 4 runners were top 16 in the fall tournament, and the other one wasn't even in the fall tournament to begin with. If he was, he probably would have made top 16. So there you go. These runners are good.
Kenny at 1 heart, hanging on a thread.
But yeah, silvers, we're fine.
Silvers, yeah. The thing you gotta be careful, though, is, like, you kill Vitreous, but then you're a little quick, and you walk right in the sludge right before, like, he dies. Yeah. I mean, once you hit him with the arrow and he starts exploding, the sludge, the goo, doesn't have any effect on you. But, oh, and we got a Castle Tower small key in Spy Cave. So that opens up 1 more chest. And probably going to be heading right into T-Rock. Of course, he's not, though, because he only has 2 small keys, but going to go check Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave, hoping to find another T-Rock key to make that play, but we already know that there isn't one in there. And just as a recap, I believe prieR does have the Misery Mire Big Key, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to complete it. And as far as I know, I think the OK Guy has 2 T-Rock keys at this point. I'd have to wait for him to pause again just to make sure. Yeah, Barrybond's going to be heading right back into Ice Palace. Ah, yes, he does have 2 T-Rock keys. Good.
So with 2 T-Rock keys, you can get all the way to the chest before the dark room.
With 2 T-Rock keys, I think you can skip the vanilla big key chest and steal a key to get to Laser Bridge.
Okay, yeah,
that's it. And I think it might be a good play to make just in case, because there's always a chance of there being a vanilla T-Rock key, but Looks like prieR's going to be heading over to check that spike cave and get that castle tower key.
Yeah, there's one more chest up there that we can check out. We know now that Agnum's not going to need to die, so we only need that one castle tower big key for that one item. Barry was killing the jellies in her room, thinking, "Where's the key? Oh wait, I was already in here. I got the key already." Alright, okay guys, he's gonna set up this bomb jump to get back. Let's see if he nails it.
Looks good. Looks nice. I love that. You know, there's nothing wrong with using select buffering, guys. Or pause buffering, if it means a successful trick.
TGH has to be careful. He's down to 2 hearts. He has that cape equipped. He used it to get rid of the eyeballs, but he has to be careful not to get bopped by Vitreous here.
Yeah.
One bop and he's got to go back to start, but he got it done.
I believe he does still have that fairy, but still dying is just not ideal at all. And OkayGuy gonna have a little bit easier time with that Master Sword. So prieR and MrBarrybondz both making the Ice Palace play. If this ends up having progression, that's good, but I gotta remember that they still are looking for that sword. Of course, they're gonna end up getting that at least a sword from Dark Maze in Palace of Darkness. And there's our third T-Rock small key.
So now Barry can I would say he can full clear T-Rock, but he still needs that Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, putting off Thieves Town until later is, well, we'll see.
Hopefully he's not thinking about waiting until, like, after he finds the small key for there.
I think the only thing MrBarrybondz is hoping for is that he finds G-Tower Big Key before opening G-Tower. I believe all of his previous races so far have been that way, where he had to go on a wild goose chase looking for the G-Tower Big Key after opening up G-Tower.
You know, with them not having that Thieves Town small key, I just thought of a wicked scenario of, you know, Thieves Town small key deep in Ganon's Tower, like behind Ice Armos, and the big chest having the Ganon's Tower big key.
I'll never forget the first time I did a Keysanity where you had to go into G-Tower and you found not only the Swamp Palace big key, but the Thieves Town big or small key. And I'm like, I have a 50-50.
Yeah.
Which one do I pick? Of course, it ended up being in Swamp, which was good. But, ugh, it's not a fun place to be in. Oh, an interesting tactic.
Barry has to be very careful here with the, I'm assuming he still has a fairy, but he's out of magic with this Fire Rod and Fighter Sword against Cold Stare.
Yeah, he is, at this point, one-hit KO.
Got the hammer. Again, I'm pretty sure he still has a fairy.
Second one.
Oh,
come on.
Oh! I think he still has a fairy. I hope he still has a fairy.
He does.
Okay.
But that bank shot. Chip shot. That
bank shot was right.
Ledge.
There you go.
Good work. Anything of value from Cold Stare other than that crystal? A small key too.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, wow. All right.
That's what Barry needed.
It's literally a game changer if that big chest has something of value for MrBarrybondz, because I can't imagine him doing anything else at this point other than going to Thieves.
Well, first of all, we know he needs to. He needs that Cane of Samaria in the worst way.
Mm-hmm. But we do have the OkayGuy heading into pod. He does. Hold on. He's gonna go to Eastern Palace first before I say anything silly.
I don't know if he knows that this is a pendant or crystal yet. We know there's nothing in here at all.
Yeah, I don't think he does, because I think the only way we found out is from players beating it and getting that beautiful pendant. It's also his first time in Eastern Palace as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think someone did find the map for here, but it was well after they already completed it, so it's not like they knew or needed the information. Oh,
yeah, I believe it was in Hookshot Cave, which, as far as I don't know if the OkayGuy's been up there yet.
Yes, Barry, right away, making a beeline for Thieves Town.
He has been up there. But at the same time, there are still, 6 items in here, so whether it's a pendant or not doesn't really matter too much. Might as well do it anyway. And he'll probably go right into pod right after this anyway as well.
So, as far as I know, or at least I'm looking at, prieR and ALTTP and Barry now all have all the items they need to complete the game.
As far as we know, yes.
We still don't know if those boots are required or any of those fetch quest items are required.
Mm-hmm. We still don't even know if... well, actually, no. We do know that the book led to nothing. I think both Bombos and Ether had junk items on them.
Yeah. So all they need now are keys and swords.
Keys and swords. And we already know where 2 or 3 of the 4 swords are located. One of them being at Catfish, one of them being in top left chest in the Dark Maze, and of course the first one, which was in the Lost Woods drop-down spot. I'm excited to find out what is in that Thieves Town big chest. This, seriously, like, that's a game changer if that ends up being like the pod big key, or
yeah.
I believe the Misery Mire big key was also in here.
Yeah, Misery Mire big key I think is in the bomb, the room you bombed to open up the light. prieR now going into his Cold Stare fight. He also only has Fighter Sword, but again, he has Fire Rod and he has Hammer, and he's going to use Bombos to break the ice open.
See, I told you Bombos would be useful.
Marginally. I mean, I'd use it also, so I'm not
same. I mean, if I was to have Fighter Sword, of course I'd use it. Ooh, gotta be careful, prieR. Gotta remember that Fighter Sword slashes do absolutely nothing on Cold Stare. It's the same with like the little Argus puffballs.
Start spinning or hammering, and again, he still has a fairy, but do the Cold Stare eyeballs do 2, 3, or 4 hearts damage?
4 hearts
2
damage with green.
4, yeah, he got hit with an ice, with the icicle that did 2, so you gotta be careful. One more, I think.
Oof!
Nope.
Gosh, that was close.
Oh!
Cool.
Got it.
Okay. Oh, Cold Stare is always such a stressful fight. Well, here's the thing. Well, it depends on where prieR goes to next. I could easily see neither him or MrBarrybondz ever getting that sword from Catfish, especially if, you know, each of these dungeons keep leading to the next dungeon.
So, very interesting. I didn't notice it earlier, but apparently the big key for Pod was in Pod. TJ's has it.
No way, really?
That's what his tracker says.
What a legend. Must have missed that. I know Swamp was vanilla.
Yeah. TJ took a much easier time with Cold Stare with that Tempered Sword.
Oh, for sure. Tempered Sword, even a Master Sword would have been helpful. Alright, well, can we find out pretty soon what was in that big chest in Thieves? If it is something required, like the Desert Palace Big Key or GT Big Key.
GT Big Key would be the biggest thing.
That would spell trouble for TheOkayGuy. Because he's got a lot of stuff he can do, like, you know, all of Swamp.
So in case you want to know how you spell trouble, it's GTBIGKEY.
It's powder?
Ooh, that's such a tease.
I mean, at least it's convenient. It's right outside, so
that could lead to a chain of events. Plus, it's nice to have for you know, nuking those anti-fairies.
Yeah, the only downside for MrBarrybondz is if it ends up leading on like a lengthy chain of fetch quest items that end up leading to nothing, just extra time loss.
Yeah, like, go to Magic Bat, find the mushroom, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see this Fighter Sword blind fight. We do have our first T-Rock from prieR's side, so... And he does have 3 T-Rock keys, so he can do all of this. He's gonna have to skip that vanilla big key chest, though, but...
Yo, shouts to Clifford, subbing to this channel for 5 months in a row.
Yo, what a homie. We are gonna see the bow side of Pod for the first time as well.
Alright, Barry had no problem taking care of blind here with the Fighter Sword.
Bomb upgrade. Anything else? Something?
Please?
Nope. Fancy Harkitator. And TGH now finally getting his bow. Curious to see what he opts to do next. Now, I'm sure he already did... Yeah, I think he did all of Eastern Palace minus Armos, so for his sake, assuming nothing's on the pedestal, he needs to not go back and fight Armos. And we're going to see a really nice bomb jump from Kenny's side over here.
Ooh, GT Big Key in Turtle Rock.
Yo, nice. Well, that's one less thing we got to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help them now, but it'll help them in the future, for sure. And we know all of our runners are going to get it.
Yeah, it's not out of the way, so that's...
So that's good news for Barrybondz.
Yeah, very good news for Barry, for sure.
No wild goose chase today.
So I'm assuming that pod Big Key was downstairs up here?
I guess so.
And I think...
I
think he came in here with... I think he came in here with 4 small keys.
I know...
Oh, and there's another castle tower key. In T-Rock, in the chain chomp room. We haven't seen that second chest, but of course we're not going to go take out Aghanim anytime soon anyway. And we are going to see that hammer jump again.
So the vanilla pod key was in the drop down chest that's logically behind just one small key. Or ALTTP, I guess, doesn't have it yet.
Yeah, because he routed from the bow section, he decided to go up and do that bomb jump instead of walking all the way around. Because, of course, if he was to drop down there, he'd have to go through the bow section again to go check their other stuff.
On Barry's side, he's cashing in that powder.
Let's see what it has. Desert Palace Big Key or Bust? What do you got?
Bust.
Oh, man. Well, that only extends the TheOkayGuy's lead a little bit more. Of course, he still has to go make his way through Ice Palace, but he's going to have a little bit easier of a time with that Tempered Sword now.
Yeah, the top race is very close between the two runners. They're both entering Turtle Rock now.
Yeah, and TGH, as long as he doesn't go back and kill Armos or go into Tower of Hera, you know, he's going to be able to keep this pretty close.
Unless, of course, something like the Swamp Key is on the pedestal. I'm pretty sure it's the only thing that could possibly be on a pedestal, or like the boots that unlock that swamp Big Key.
You mean desert?
That's what I meant, desert, yeah.
Okay. And only bombs in the Mimic Cave. And Kenny's going to go around to go grab this chest and then drop down. Hopefully to go get his Big Key, which, you know, you're not planning on finding the pod Big Key in pod, so...
Is prieR really just... Well, he has to go back to pod to get that Big Key, obviously. He hasn't been in pod yet. But from what we know, all he needs is that Desert Palace Big Key, and he will be in go mode once he finds the pod Big Key in pod. So Desert Palace Big Key, go to pod would be insane for prieR at this point.
I'm getting a feeling that maybe that Desert Palace Big Key is going to be sitting in Swamp. You don't get a green pendant Swamp and then not have to do it, right?
Hey, you never know. TheOkayGuy about to get his pod Big Key here. He's going to be pleasantly surprised.
Oh, hey, it's a... Wow, no reaction. He knew right away.
He was like, hey, cool, got it.
Thanks. Sweet game. Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like vanilla items tend to be like the most quote-unquote trolly. I feel like that term gets thrown around a lot, and then all of a sudden everything in the game is trolly if it doesn't do something optimal. Yeah. But of all the things, vanilla items, whether it's small keys...
As long as you don't get to a point that's like, oh man, sword and... Oh, speaking of the 4 sword, first chest and laser bridge.
Well, that's good. That's going to be good for prieR and MrBarrybondz, because
they'll have time. There it is, Big Key Desert.
So, we're in commentators go mode.
Yay, no mode.
Yay. Wow, so this is a pretty quick seed. At an hour and 14 minutes in, we already have everything we need.
What is it with us two working together getting quick seeds?
I don't know, man. The rando gods are nice to us. Or they want us to get us off the mic as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's like, oh, these two are working, get them off, terrible.
Oh gosh, not again.
Short as possible.
So yeah, here's the thing. Once TGH gets that Desert Palace Big Key, he'll more than likely opt to go do that. Of course, he doesn't... he knows the Desert Palace is the... That's the thing is, like, we've seen like the bomb hub guy from other players, but we don't know exactly what these players know.
But the thing is, though, it doesn't really matter for TGH because he has everything he needs to complete every dungeon.
True. So as long as he doesn't, get baited into going into Tower of Hera or
back into
Eastern, yeah.
Oh yeah, the prieR might not go into pod. He might not go into pod because the pod big key is
Yeah,
pod.
That's the other thing is that early play into pod by TGH is going to end up benefiting him quite a bit if prieR doesn't make that play. It's a really hard play to make.
Yeah.
To go into pod when all you're missing is the pod big key. Of course, especially when you have all of Swamp, it's like if you're just basing it on like chest density, you're going to pick Swamp every time. Right?
Yeah, 10 items compared to, 12 in pod, but you can't get much in pod without the big key. Okay, maybe you only miss out on one chest, so maybe you do.
Yeah.
And he has 4
I guess based on that standard, pod would be the smarter play. Yeah, really nice helmet fight from the OkayGuy. Had a little bit of trouble in the turtle room prior, but making up ground. And picking up a small key too. Desert, alright. So
I have both keys to desert. Even though we know that small key's not going to lead to much, if anything at all. Boots would be nice.
Alright, so the OkayGuy needs to... Let's see what he does next. If he's going to go... He needs to go into Ice Palace, because that's where the last T-Rock small key... Well, the third T-Rock small key is.
He's got one more chest to open. I think it's the big key chest. The big chest.
Yep. The big chest.
So yeah, OkayGuy and most of these runners, they're going to get by in pod with only 4 small keys. Fighting Hammering Up with having the bow, they can complete... I think TGH might need one more pod key. Or maybe with this desert small key, he can skip everything. Let's see. Well, he's not completing everything just yet, so... As far as we know now, TGH is in go mode.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out.
Also,
now,
TGH Butter Sword. Oh.
Yeah. It's so much easier for us as commentators because we have all this beautiful information in front of us. Oh, Kenny, no. Taking an unfortunate fall there. Unless that was intended to get the hard hat beetles out of the way. Oh, you mad man.
RNG manipulation. Legit this time.
Making me look a fool. It's also really hard to tell who's in the lead at this point. I feel like prieR and the OkayGuy have had a significant lead throughout. But it really depends on what the next plays are for these guys.
Yeah. Again, TGH, he might need... Oh, no, not TGH. OkayGuy, he might need one more Turtle Rock small key.
Yeah, he needs to get the one off Cold Stare, and that looks like it's going to be his next play, going into Ice Palace.
Yep,
of course, he's still looking for Desert Palace big key and that small key, so it's going to be a full Ice Palace clear, but unfortunately for MrBarrybondz, taking the Swamp Palace dive, which we know at this point leads nowhere. Well, it could lead somewhere, but we don't need to go in there.
It could just lead him in more bad directions. Well, I doubt it, though. I think we found everything we need at this point. There's a chance, I think, that if TGH completes Desert and he gets his crystal, that he's immediately done. He just has to go back to pod and kill Helmistar.
Yeah, so it depends on what prieR does next. If he goes straight to pod, he's taking the lead.
Now, just a reminder with TGH, he opened a big door because he didn't have the bow the first time he went into pod. But if he knows he's in go mode, he has the one extra key he needs to complete the dungeon. He doesn't have to open up the vanilla big key chest.
Oh, and it looks like prieR might be taking that Swamp Palace. No, I think this is a Pyramid Fairy play. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. You might be thinking, Pyramid Fairy, maybe check the second chest in Aga Tower.
Yes. good routing from what his perspective is.
Yeah, I have not been paying any attention to Swamp Palace just because we know we don't need it. We know there's nothing in there that we could possibly need.
How to small key to pod? I mean, logically we needed that, and he's
Yeah, true.
figuring out into getting that. So, also, I think TGH is going to be in his go mode once he kills land moles and gets the information as a crystal. He didn't bother looking at the rest of the desert, so.
This is so tough though. That pod big key being in pod. It's like, you know, TGH's mistake of not, or it's not really a mistake, but wow, there's the boots and another big key to Skull Woods. But that's bad because that's just going to send prieR elsewhere. I can't imagine him going into pod anytime soon.
He might be the only runner to have boots his entire race.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily a good thing.
TGH, he is now going to go. What's he thinking about? He's going to Death Mountain. Oh, he wanted to see if Eastern was a crystal, a pendant. He's going to go to Hera. He's going to do Hera before. All right, so I know what TGH is doing. He's going to set the portal here. He's going to gamble on Hera being the last crystal.
Well, if he was going to set the portal, he wouldn't be going this way. But yeah, I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows what the last pendant dungeons are. So he might be thinking Tower Hera is it.
Well, he knows now Eastern is because he just checked the map and he saw that Eastern's a pendant. But he never completed Hera, so now we got the information that Swamp's a crystal, a pendant, but he knew that already.
Oh, and MrBarrybondz heading into pod now, so.
Okay, so TJ is going to enter Hera. From his perspective, if this is a crystal, he's just going to go right back to Turtle Rock, use the portal, and go right to Ganon's Tower. So in that sense, this is the right play, quote unquote. Now we know it's not going to pay off for him, that he's going to get a pendant here, and he's going to have to go back to pod.
Well, now here's the thing, though. Depending on how prieR routes this, he might not get that sword in the Dark Maze if he gets the pod big key early, because he would be hitting go mode, and then he'd be good to go.
Yeah. And we know he won't go to Catfish either, so he's going to have to be on Master Sword versus So it's going to be Master Sword and Boots versus Tempered Sword. That's a very interesting fight.
Yeah, it all depends on how he decides to route this, but what was he doing?
He's what? He's fleeting away?
What?
He's going to... I don't know.
Oh, he's checking Lumberjack.
Not Lumberjack. He's checking Bonk Rocks.
Oh, sorry. Why would he check Lumberjack? I was thinking Pedestal. That's what I meant to say, but Lumberjack
isn't the book yet either.
Right, because it's in the first chest in pod. So he is just checking Bonk Rocks. That's alright.
And obviously he's going to do King's Tomb after this. Then he's probably going to go back to Futa 5 and use the portal right near Eastern to go back into pod.
Well, if I've ever seen a debate of this validity, that was one of them. So yeah, TJ's getting that pendant. So now, at this point, he knows. He knows that
he's in go mode. He has to go to the pod and just kill Homicide, and he is good to go.
Yep.
He's been in go mode the entire time. He just needed to defeat the right dungeon. He chose poorly.
I think he chose wisely, given his circumstances.
Yes, I mean, yeah, he chose wisely in his circumstance. Us, as the viewers and commentators, he chose poorly. So it's going to be very interesting because these two are going to finish pod close to each other. prieR has the boots, so that's a huge advantage for him when, like, traveling-wise, but TGH has the Butter Sword, which is going to be a huge advantage in combat. Other than that, they're even. Also, if prieR, it depends on how fast prieR finds his big key.
Oh, a very clean cold stare from the OK guy using that Tempered Sword. And fortunately for Barrybondz, heading to the Dark Maze, because of course he's still looking for that Desert Palace big key, so he'll be getting his sword upgrade at 1 hour and 24 minutes.
I was going to say, take a picture of right before Barry grabbed that, we had everybody with all different swords at one point.
Oh, nice. Very colorful.
But now Barry wrote it. He got master himself. And TG, he has he has 2 small keys now for pod, so he's got plenty of safety.
Yeah, this is... At this point, TGH is going to be taking the lead right here, because this is prieR's first time into this dungeon. He doesn't have the big key yet. He doesn't know that it's right at that drop down. But he does have the boots, so he'd be able to, like, bonk up to that one spot, but... Oftentimes, players are probably going to go ahead and just check all of the back half, the dark maze, and all that stuff before checking out those things, since you do have to go through again. Of course, he does have more keys. Well, he's got 4.
Well, we know it's kind of gratuitous at this point, but OkayGuy's going to give us a pedestal check.
We appreciate it.
All right. Just a little piece of love.
I guess he wants to know if he needs to go into swamp or not. Hopefully he doesn't make the play into swamp for his sake.
Hey, I was right.
Wow, who would have thought? What is the probability of it being a heart piece?
Like, it's either that or couch cash. What do you want me to call?
Right. Ooh, all right, well, here's the thing, though. TJH is in the lead in his matchup, but he is also at a severe advantage with the huge sword difference.
But prieR57, once he presses this button, he is now in go mode.
He's now in go mode. But yeah, the difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword Ganon is pretty big. The difference between Master Sword and Gold Sword Ganon is even larger.
That is true. But the boots might catch him up slowly but surely. You never know. You'll see on Death Mountain, because, prieR's going to go right back to Helmastar now. There's no stopping him now. He is committed.
It's also going to be interesting. The bottom race, as well, is going to end up being really close.
Oh, yeah.
As long as the OkayGuy makes the T-Rock play next and over swamp, which I'm surprised he's put off for so long. I guess... Oh...
he's between 1 and 3, right. But he's going to 1.
He was probably thinking about that Evestown Big Chest.
Alright, Teach has completed pod. He is now heading up to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, there's nothing worse as a commentator or as a viewer to sit and watch people make the wrong choice. We want people to make the right choices. Of course, we're trying to be as unbiased as possible. So, for us as commentators, we want everyone to make the right choice and not the wrong choice. Viewers, you guys can go crazy and fanboy about whatever.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice solid sub 100, I think, for TGH.
Yeah, and if Barrybondz immediately goes up and goes to Total Rock right away, this bottom race is going to be pretty close too.
Oh yeah, it's going to be very close. And that'll be, those two will be a separation of, again, just swords. OkayGuy will have butter, Barry's going to have tempered. That's not that huge of a difference. It's a nice difference. Again, fight's going to be maybe a phase, but yeah.
Yeah, and despite the fact that prieR does have those boots, I don't think that's going to be significant enough to make a difference in their race. It helps, but yeah, that sword difference hurts, especially when your opponent's already in the lead. If prieR was in the lead, then we'd be able to really make that conversation, but at this point, it looks like it's TGH's race to lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so interesting because of how far behind TGH was, but at the same time, because of how far behind he was, he cleared a lot more stuff and found some very convenient items, which ended up helping out in the long run.
It was really weird because his biggest mistake was also his biggest blessing.
Yeah.
His big mistake of going to pod too early led him to the vanilla big key, which turned out to be the blessing because he didn't have to worry about that.
Which is just the epitome of Keysanity, or just even Rando in general, but especially Keysanity. Unfortunately, MrBarrybondz is getting double dead rocked twice in a row. So that's going to cost him a little bit of time, and Kenny's going to keep his lead a little bit longer. He's probably already frustrated thinking, oh, come on, I'm this far, and I still don't have that stupid GT big key. It's going to be very satisfying to find that over here, where the OkayGuy is about to head.
I've noticed something in Keysanity where like the things you need are all like in Turtle Rock all together. Like you come back here, you're gonna get the Ganon Tower big key, you're gonna get the Desert Palace big key, and you're gonna get a sword upgrade.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like how Meyer had a bunch of stuff that we needed. Instead of like putting pieces in all the different locations and dungeons, we just get all of them jam-packed into a single one.
Yep, so OkayGuy got his Ganon Tower big key. He is now breathing a sigh of relief. No wild goose chase.
Yeah, TGH heading up the gauntlet at this point. Gold sword, silvers. He's got 19 arrows. Well, there's a 10 drop right there if he wanted it, but he don't need it.
Oh no, we only need 4 arrows from this point. Well, if you use the arrows in Gauntlet like I do, and looks like what he might be doing also. Just as long as you have at least 4 or 5 when you're going to get it.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very good time for both of our top runners.
Yeah, again, prieR's going to have a little trouble with the Ganon fight because he's going to be a Master Sword, but nothing that he's not used to at this point.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you have Cape and half magic, the sword difference, challenge-wise, isn't too big, but time-wise, still.
Yeah. Luckily,
so
some Master Sword silverless.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be horrible. Or entertaining, whichever way you want to look at it.
I'll say horrible on both ends. Because I lose track of counting, and I'm like, I think this is it. No, that's not it. I think this is it. No.
I really like that mimic room for your prieR there. Just going on the offensive, not like... A lot of times people just chill in the back and like sword buffer or dash buffer or whatever to get the mimics to move into a position that's convenient, but he just went right at him.
One other difference that that just reminded me of with prieR, because he didn't get the Dark Maze, not only did he miss out on a sword upgrade, he also missed out on a mail upgrade.
Yeah, sitting at 3 hearts, 2 hearts actually, is pretty scary. It looks like he's going to go ahead and get the iframes here and then get some safety, which fortunately is going to cost him a little bit more time. So, but I don't blame him.
The time you spend on that could be invaluable if you die on Ganon.
True.
Or even Aghanim. That's even worse. Siege opening a chest here. I don't know what he's looking for, but open chest. Why not?
Yeah, he's got plenty of small keys. So, gold sword. Maybe you want another. Nah, I don't know what he's looking for.
Boots? I mean...
Maybe.
He's looking for boots so we can swag, probably so we can hover Moldorm.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
He'll probably ask where the boots were and be like, yeah, Pyramid Fairy is kind of hard to route that in. And when you're in go mode, Desert Palace is your last crystal.
God, I just can't get over how crazy of a comeback TGH made, and there's the mushroom, the last chest. Won't be turning that one in, but, could probably offer that up to Ganon.
I don't want to kill you. Eat this shroom.
Yes. But yeah, this race down on the bottom is...
Barry's catching up.
Yeah, it's only a couple screens behind. Now, of course, both these players are really good at just the base game. I'd have to give execution-wise to the OkayGuy just because of the times that he's posted in the vanilla game.
But then again, like you were saying earlier, I don't know, before the race started, OkayGuy took a little bit of a break. He just came back about a month or 2 ago. Barry was playing a lot for like 6-7 months.
Well, that's more so of a comment about like the game mode, about Randomizer and Keysanity as a whole, not so much the base game.
Yeah, the vanilla game. Anyway, TGH takes care of Aga 2. We're on our way to the Ganon fight. He's going to be very, very low time here.
Gold sword, silvers. It's going to take like a minute and a half. The nice thing for both Barry, especially Barry, but also Ketty, is the fact that unless they start from the back end and go forward, there's no way they're going to miss that sword on Laser Bridge.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you'll see them open the back first because they want to have that safety door, but at this point they're not going to. OkayGuy's going to take out his magic cape and get his butter sword.
I gotta say, it's also really impressive how, despite the fact that Barrybondz did go into Swamp, or he went into Swamp twice, and even double dipped Ice Palace, how he's not that far behind.
And there's OkayGuy's go mode.
TGH using up his safety fairy that he got relatively beginning of the game. Despite his tunic, he is only on blue mail. So Ganon still packs a pretty powerful punch, especially when you're on low health and not picking up any safeties along the way. Though he didn't really have an opportunity to. No powder.
Nope, didn't get the powder. The only one with the powder was Barrybondz. He, again, went in. Think of it this way: Barrybondz made all these gambles that didn't pay off, yet he's still right there in his race.
Mm-hmm.
Teach going through to get the phase 4 here. He's about to finish off Ganon. Gonna get a triple here. Oh, you only need a double though.
And there you go. TGH, once he walks through that door, will be heading into week 5 of the Swiss round, sitting at a very comfy 4-0, which, if anything, secures his spot in the tiebreaker race. It's going to be happening afterwards. prieR will be falling to 3-1 and has to win out in order to make it into that tiebreaker race. But this was a very close race, so congratulations to TGH. Coming in first place.
TGH finished first place with official SRL time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 7 seconds.
Which is probably one of our top 10 times in this tournament thus far.
prieR's not going to be too far behind. Again, he's going to be using Master Sword, so he's going to take a little longer on this Ganon fight, but he'll probably still sneak it in under the 100-minute mark.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's so interesting how just like a minor routing change. Well, I mean, that catfish though, like nobody's going to go to catfish at that point in the race unless they're like running out of spots to check.
Very interesting how you have one on Gold Sword, one on Master Sword based on some of the plays you make. But that's what happens when, even in Keysanity, when you have a seed like this where everything is pretty much handed to you in a linear fashion, you don't check other spots.
Yeah, basically. A lot of the times the dungeons led from one dungeon to the next. Yeah, I'm going to be using that half magic and cape strats to take out Ganon. It's nice when he gives you a good pattern or good locations you can get doubles on him. Double spins. Already into phase 3.
Yeah, so you got through the hard part. The hard part with Master Sword is the first 2 phases.
Yeah, especially phase 2. That one sucks.
Yeah. I think he still has his fairy too, so even though he's at 2 hearts, he still has another safety item.
So the exciting thing to think about is prieR could still end up racing one of the guys, whoever wins the bottom race in the final round of the Swiss stage.
Yeah, you never know. And these two are separated by only a minute on the bottom between OkayGuy and Barrybondz. They're both entering their final crystal dungeon.
Alright, OkayGuy going to be heading into the Lamella fight with Barrybondz not too far behind. prieR taking out Ganon. As he walks through that door, he will be our second place finisher in this 4-player race, but second as well as second in his own personal race against TGH.
And OkayGuy going through his Lamella fight. prieR57 finishes in second place in his race and in the SRL race with an official time of 1:38.26. Fantastic times for both TGH and prieR57. And joining us now is TGH, our winner. How you doing, sir?
Hey guys, what's up?
GG.
Thanks.
Solid comeback there. Whew.
Thanks. It was a comeback apparently.
Yeah, well, that hook shot, that very late hook shot.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I'm just not used to having to check Aga Tower in Keysanity.
Nobody is.
Like, yeah.
No one is.
it just kind of snuck up.
And I believe the cape was relatively early. I think that was in Kakariko, like in Blind's basement or something.
Yeah, I think I sort of equated. I didn't really link the two things. I didn't link Aga Tower with cape. To be honest with you, I was more thinking about Bumper Cave. I suppose when there was nothing on Bumper Cave, I should have probably made that connection. But I made a few mistakes that run a few. Not bad mistakes, just like few little minor mistakes. But overall, it was okay. I was a little bit rusty, but
one mistake that kind of paid off for you was your early dip in the pod, because you were able to go into pod even though you didn't have like the bow yet,
Yeah.
Open enough chests to get a sword upgrade and the big key knowledge, which
Yeah, that sword upgrade was good.
prieR, who I believe just joined us now, GG prieR.
Hello. Congrats, TG.
Thank you, prieR. Good race, man.
prieR, he didn't go into pod until way late. Like, his go mode item was the pod big key.
Yeah, and how do you... There's no real way to plan for a vanilla pod big key or a vanilla big key in their dungeon. Especially where that one was, because, you know, when you had the bow, of course you want to route... You don't want to have to go through the bow section multiple times. So when you first get it, of course you're going to go to, like, Dark Maze and all that stuff, or focus on that. But, yeah. And unfortunately, because of that being his go mode item, you ended up not getting the other sword upgrade in Dark Maze.
And prieR also missed out on the sword upgrade at Catfish, so TGH finishing with the Butter Sword. prieR, the only one of our forerunners, finishing with the Master Sword, but he did a fantastic job with that Master Sword Ganon. prieR
kind of sorry.
prieR also had the boots because like I said, one of the benefits for him in that case, he checked other items after desert, including the Pyramid Fairy. That's where the boots were.
Okay. It was kind of awkward at the end, having neither map for the dungeons I needed. So doing Hera first that kind of hurt when I saw the pendant drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we're watching, we're like, yeah, that's the wrong decision. But when you're in that situation, you're like, well, if it is Hera, I complete Hera, then run over to the portal, come right back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that was my thinking. Plus, Hera is a lot faster than completing Pod too.
Yeah, even
that was the better decision, like objectively. But
yeah, I don't remember if we ever found the Palace of Darkness dungeon map or not.
I don't think we found the Hera dungeon map either. I think those two were missing, but most of our players did, because they had the hook shot pretty early. And, well, not really the hookshot from Mirror. They were able to do Hera early and get that information.
Yeah, because Hera was locked behind... Hera Big Key was locked behind hookshot because it was sitting in Misery Mire, along with the T-Rock Big Key. Yeah, sorry. The other race, they're both in the gauntlet right now. So I'm, like, watching that. Because it's pretty close. It's very interesting because BarryBondz made a lot of... Like, he went into Ice Palace and Swamp without the hammer. He also went into Mire without the Cane of Samaria, and yet he's only like a minute or so behind.
Yeah, he's in the first. I wouldn't say the first room gauntlet, like the first room upstairs. OkayGuy is now on Landmole 2. Again, there's the sword difference there too. OkayGuy's got butter, and Barry has only tempered.
Yeah, there's really no good way to route Catfish in. I was kind of wondering if any of you guys were going to do Catfish into Zora, since you had, depending on how you routed it, had Dark World access, and basically Flippers immediately led to Moon Pearl, but a lot of players did the smart thing and just went ahead and did Waterfall Cave into Zora, and just knock all that out at the same time.
Yeah, my routing was a little bit awkward throughout that section, because like I kind of left Catfish alone for a while. Like went and got like Graveyard Ledge, Bumper Cave, and made that loop all the way around the Dark World, Thieves Town, and just kind of left Catfish out of it. I also kind of forgot about Pyramid as well, like going in the pod, so I'm glad there was nothing there.
Yeah, I think you and the OkayGuy made the same Pyramid to Catfish play. I think it's like swim around, or maybe. Yeah, because he also was very late to get his hookshot as well. Oh no, OkayGuy missing the torch is in the first room.
He fell and has to relight them all.
I know
That first one must be glitched? Is it like the torch glitch? A different variation of it? What's going on? I'm confused. It's lit up, but it's not reading as being lit up. That is weird.
Oh, that...
Oh, I've had that happen.
Barry's gonna catch up. He's one room behind now.
Wow, that is really weird. Why did that happen?
You've had that happen before, Teach?
I have, yeah. I don't know why it happens, but
they're now one room separated now. That caught BarryBondz up.
Yeah, and I mean, the difference between Tempered and Gold Sword isn't really that big. So this could come down to like a Moldorn Fall or a bad Agatu.
Yeah, neither of these runners with boots, so it's going to be tough to navigate the Moldorm fight because you can't just dash and kill him with those strats.
I mean, Gold Sword does help here because it's just 2 slashes, but you still gotta be careful. This is getting really close.
Yeah, this is insanely close now.
All right, Moldorn 2 is down for the OK guy, and Barrybondz grabbing a health refill and magic refill. That stupid mushroom on the Moldorn 2 chest.
Yo, cash that in. Get that ether medallion. We don't know where that is yet.
Until you told me that boots were at Pyramid Fairy, I was certain that boots were at the Witch.
That'd be perfect. All right, well, here's the other thing is, OK guy is only at 3 hearts. He does have that safety fairy still, so he can take a death without it costing him anything. Well, too much, but not that anyone dies to Agatu, but
I think Barry lost his fairy at Cold Stare, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because he did Cold Stare with Fighter Sword.
Yeah, you might be right. And there we go. Another 2-2-2. I think all 3 of you guys have had triple doubles.
What is basketball now?
Yeah.
Also, you said earlier that I may be right. Well, I may be crazy, but it just might be a lunatic you're looking for. Wow, nothing.
All right, once these guys finish, we can give you guys a proper interview. Sorry, dude, this is...
Yeah, this is very close.
Oh, we got Gold B strats.
Oh no, lag strats.
Yeah, Barrybondz might be able to catch up just with the amount of lag created from using the Gold B and having the Gold Sword. I don't know how significant. I don't know how significant that actually is, but.
Oh my god, the lag is real.
I know you could feel it. You could feel the lag.
Ugh. I thought Barrybondz was supposed to be the. Oh no, he has a fairy though, right?
Yeah, it's still time though. This is gonna be really close.
Oh, this is crazy.
It's gonna come down to like, getting a double. Ooh, Barry's gotta be careful too. He's down to 2 hearts.
This harkens back to the fall tournament where MrBarrybondz, his very first race, he made a comeback on Ganon against Dragon Master 283.
Oh, I remember that. They're both on the last hit of Phase 3. No, this will come down to if whoever gets like doubles or whatnot. Can he get in the first hit? First silver going in. Oh, missing the torch glitch, but that ain't too bad. Oh, God, gotta be careful.
Oh, that was close.
Barrybondz also missing the torch glitch, but he's probably going to be able to get a double out of this unless Kenny gets a double out of this first. And he does! Just like...
Oh my god! Oh, wow.
This is...
I think OK Guy has him a little bit, but we gotta check the SRL timers.
Oh, Barrybondz was too close to the edge. He didn't start the animation in time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
OK Guy finishes in first place in his race with a time of 1:48.50. And Barry finishes with a time of 1:48.59. 9-second difference.
That would have been even closer. So here's what happened. If you stand right at the edge of the arena, you'll notice that your character doesn't do the sword animation, and until you do that, like the music plays, but until you do that whole animation, the door's not going to come down. And that costs some time. Oh my gosh. What a photo finish. Oh. All right, well. So anyway, TGH.
What a finish.
prieR. GG's.
Thank you.
4-0's got to be feeling pretty good. That solidifies your shot in the tiebreaker race.
Feels good, yeah.
At least. Also being able to run the table and go 5-0. prieR dropping to 3-1. Just got to win your next race next week to get a shot in that tiebreaker race. And that tiebreaker race is not getting to the like. If that's like for me, that's like my main goal. If I can get to tiebreaker race, I'm feeling good. But it's going to be a hard race to win, especially when only one person moves on. So it's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yes, but I can't blame myself too much. I think I did my best, and Tej obviously did better. And I wish him good luck to his next race. And nothing much to say.
Thank you, man. You too. Good race and good luck for the rest of the tournament, dude.
Well played, sir.
You too.
Well, that sums it up pretty well. We're gonna go see if we can get either the OK Guy or MrBarrybondz in here, which we
have them both now.
do already.
Barry's here for sure. Barry, GG.
Thank you. Good game.
That was a very, very close finish between you and OK Guy. And OK Guy, GG as well.
Thank you very much. How are you guys doing?
Oof.
Heart's still beating.
Yeah, my heart's pounding.
It was crazy to watch because Barrybondz was just. First of all, that torch glitch, whatever happened, what happened there? Do you have an idea?
I don't know. That's the very first thing I wanted to talk about was the torch. I think I know what it is. In MyR, it happens sometimes where you light two torches and like one doesn't show that it's lit. It's like not lit, but it works. Like the door opens. I think it's the opposite of that. I think that torch just wasn't lit, and I could have lit it again, but I wasn't gonna mess around. Any more than I already had.
Yeah.
And just leave the room and come back.
Because you had a couple like transitions, a couple of screen transition lead, but at that point Barrybondz is like one room behind you, and then the crazy thing is, what the fun, the actual gold sword and gold B strats lagged your Ganon fight so much that Barrybondz was like neck and neck with you.
I actually thought that I was gonna lose because, like, I saw TGH and Priest just annihilate this seed. So I was expecting Barry to, have just not done any time. And then once I got into the Ganon fight, I was like, nah, he's probably doing Swamp or something. I'm okay. I have time, to mess around.
Fair enough. Well, you didn't get to get your boots to like hover or do any other sort of swag, quote unquote swag tactics. So you had to get some of that
walking swagger.
You had to get some of that. Had to get some of that BM in. So
I just want to point out the irony of the OK Guy doing the meme gold B strats when MrBarrybondz is most known for a couple memes of his own from the fall tournament.
Yo, like I want to hear about these.
Oh, you never heard the Gatorade story?
I sure haven't.
Oh God! All right. And what about the Bird Crush? Have you heard about that one?
Bird Crush as opposed to the Bird Toss in front of MyR. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. So yeah, I feel like there was maybe like a second or two difference between the Ganon deaths between the two of you guys, but I looked at the IRC and I saw the 9-second difference. I was like, where did that come from? And then I looked back, and Barrybondz, you didn't have the sword animation going, so I'm assuming you were too high up.
Yep, I was too high up. It cost me a bit of time.
So.
Oh, that's horrible. When you're right on the ledge and the music won't play, the fanfare, and you just stand there waiting for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the music plays, but like until the animation starts, the door is not going to come down. So, I don't want to say that decided it, but that it could have. I think it would have been like a 1 second difference, maybe two.
Maybe a tie, which does happen once in a while.
Of course, one minor mistake doesn't really decide the whole seed. This was a crazy run. Barry making a lot of crazy gambles, like going into ice and going into swamp without hammer, putting off Thieves Town to go into MyR without Cane of Samaria. But despite all that, still kept it within 10 seconds or even a couple seconds. So
yeah, it had to have been an awesome race. I mean, between Priest and TGH coming in as close as they did with each other, and then me and him 8-9 seconds apart. Mm-hmm. I think my biggest, I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I triple dipped Desert. Like, that's horrible. But I needed to. Early on, it was my sequence breaking very early on helped a lot, but
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It did quite a bit. The
You had the Moon Pearl like 10 minutes before anyone else.
I tried to put it to use, but I don't know. At least I didn't like go back to Thieves Town to check the big chest or pegs and all that stuff.
Well, Barry actually, because of the way he routed, he checked Thieves Town and the big chest at the same time, and it had the powder.
which didn't lead to anything. We were kind of wondering if it was going to lead to like the progression and force all the players to have to go back into Thieves Town just for the Desert Palace big key.
I want
But
Desert Palace a big key to be there.
the seed kind of played out pretty linear in the sense that it was like, just one dungeon to the next for the most part. And then when it came down to like finishing it out, it's like how do you predict or how do you route when you have a Palace of Darkness big key in Palace of Darkness?
I have a question. Did anybody double dip Turtle Rock?
No.
I don't think so. Everyone did it first, and for most of you guys, it was like the go mode. The go mode stuff was in there. The only one it wasn't was for prieR.
Yeah.
I ask because usually a double dip in T-Rock is horrible, but if we had done it in this seed, it would have been amazing. Depending on how we use our keys, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, no, we did. I didn't get a third key for it for a really long time.
Yeah, the third one was on Cold Stare. Or not on Cold Stare. Where was it? It was pretty late. Cold Stare had the Thieves Town small key.
Yeah, it was in Ice Palace, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Or at least my third one was.
Yeah, it's interesting to think because, based on the logic, of course, the game wants you to get all 6 pod keys and all 4 T-Rock small keys.
Hey, Barry won it in game time. Barry wins the race.
Oh, that's awesome.
By 16 seconds.
Wow.
I'm kidding, of course.
How about Palace of Darkness? Did anybody have more keys than I did whenever I went in there? Because I had to route through right side, three times, I think?
Everyone had 4.
Yeah, everyone finished with 4.
TGH was the only one that went in early. I think he only had 1.
He went in with 2, I think.
I had 2, yeah. I had 2 and no bow or hammer at that point.
Yeah, because he was still looking for the hook shot
Yeah,
at that point. But
Teach ended up finishing without opening the vanilla big key chest. I think it was just a sword, shield.
yeah, no,
No,
Yeah.
it was an upgrade of some sort. It was something not good.
it was a shield, but I think he got that because he has, unless there was a third shield somewhere else, because
I
everyone
think
got.
there was, because everyone he got 1 shield that the other 3 didn't get.
Okay.
That hookshot location, I felt pretty good about that when I found it.
Yeah, that ended up working out because we were hoping, because you don't want to go into pod, or you hadn't even done Eastern Palace yet, so since we knew that hookshot led to the bow, we were like, let's hope he goes into Agate Tower to get that before going up to before diving into those dungeons without the bow. But yeah, overall, dude, that was a crazy race, and I hope I have a good feeling that everyone enjoyed watching that, right, chat?
Oh, of course they enjoyed watching us all walk around for a couple hours.
Well, if you like what you saw from our runners, you can go give them a follow. They're always racing Link to the Past. Well, not in TGH's case, not just Link to the Past. He races literally every game imaginable, I think.
At the same time, all of them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do you still have the world record for Link's Awakening?
No, I lost it to Vlad.
But you just recently got the world record for Celeste.
True, yes.
There you go.
Last
You
night,
lose one world record, get another one back.
It sounds like
Also, you want to follow our great trackers. They did a great job keeping track of everything. Itsu Demo and Tim Lobo. Great job, you guys.
And also follow our casters here. Thank you guys for doing commentary for us. I'm sure it was a really good show.
Yeah, thank you guys very much, seriously.
it was a hoot and a half, I'd say. So
A hoot and Hanny.
Yeah. So thank you for letting us jump on in. It was a fun one. Whew. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy rest of the Swiss rounds. Excited to see which players come out on top. And we still have one more. We have 2 more days left for this week, and then we have all of next week. So plenty more Keysanity action for you guys out there.
And if you guys really want some more Keysanity, you can head on over to one of our sister channels, ALTTP Randomizer. Over there right now, you have a quad match in the 1-2 bracket. You'll go watch there if you want. So if you need to get some more of your randomizer fix.
Nice. Thank you guys again. I'm going to get out of here.
Thanks to the races.
Yeah, great race, you guys. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, GG's to all you guys for putting on a show. That was incredible.
I mean, for a bootless seed, it was still really fun.
Oh, boots were in a pyramid fairy, by the way.
Yeah, I heard. That's unfortunate. All right, later, guys.
Later.
See ya.
On that note, I guess we can sign off for the night. Like I said, more racing going on over on ALTTP Randomizer. On behalf of Willard, who is the man,
Hey.
despite being bad.
Eh. Fair enough. Thank you again for joining me, Rambler. I'll see you guys next
Anytime.
time.